Imagine waking up every single morning with an invisible drain attached to your bank account. You don't see it, you don't hear it, but every second you are asleep, it is quietly siphoning off the value of your active labor. In the U.S. economic landscape of 2026, this isn't a metaphor. It is a mathematical reality. Total U.S. consumer debt has reached an unprecedented $18.21 trillion. Within this massive mountain of leverage, credit card balances alone account for a staggering $1.25 trillion. The average American consumer is currently carrying $6,595 in revolving credit card debt. Under the weight of sustained inflation fatigue and aggressive interest rates, millions of people are watching their paychecks evaporate before they can even buy groceries. In fact, the severe delinquency rate, the percentage of credit card accounts that are 90 days or more past due, has climbed to 13.12%. That is a 15-year high, a level of financial stress we haven't seen since the structural wreckage of the 2008 housing crash. If you are only making the minimum monthly payments on your cards, you are not just managing your finances. You are paying a permanent compounding tax to the banking system. The banks have engineered a framework where your hard work directly funds their passive compounding cash flow. With the average APR on interest accruing cards sustained at over 21% and new promotional offers pushing past 23%, the math is designed to keep you trapped forever. Today, we strip away the shallow, motivational cliches. We are going to decode the exact neurobiology of your debt, analyze the mathematical formulas the banks use to exploit you, and map out a strict, mechanical 6-month protocol to reclaim your financial sovereignty. Most personal finance gurus will tell you that debt is simply a failure of discipline. They will look you in the eyes and tell you that if you just had more willpower, if you just stopped buying $3 coffees, you would be wealthy. But they don't understand the human brain. Behavioral economists Senthil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir developed a profound concept known as scarcity tunneling. Scarcity is not just a lack of physical cash, it is a psychological state that completely captures and alters your cognitive architecture. When you are constantly stressed about outstanding balances, overdue bills, or how to stretch $50 to the end of the week, your brain is operating under immense cognitive overhead. This pressure triggers a tunneling effect. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for long-term strategic planning, logical reasoning, and risk evaluation, is effectively hijacked by short-term, primitive threat detection. Your focus narrows strictly to the immediate crisis inside the tunnel, making it structurally impossible to allocate mental resources to long-term wealth building. Under the influence of scarcity tunneling, you are not making poor financial choices because you lack intelligence. You are making poor choices because your brain is forced into survival mode. A person trapped in this tunnel will accept lowball job offers, ignore compound interest, overlook hidden bank fees, and make impulsive emotional purchases just to seek temporary dopamine relief. The constant threat of collections and late notices drains your willpower, leaving your habits exposed to systemic exploitation. This cognitive trap explains why highly educated, six-figure professionals still find themselves living paycheck to paycheck. Earning more money does not automatically cure scarcity tunneling if your fixed expenses rise in direct proportion to your income. When premium gym memberships, high-end car leases, and upscale apartments become your baseline, your prefrontal cortex remains in threat detection mode. You are running on a high-speed treadmill towards zero. To break out of this tunnel, you don't need more motivation. You need a structured, mechanical protocol that removes the decision-making friction from your life. To defeat the banks, we must look directly at the cold, hard math of how they calculate your monthly interest. When you carry a balance on a credit card, the interest is not calculated as a flat annual fee. The financial institution calculates your costs daily using the average daily balance method. Let B represent your outstanding principal balance, and let APR represent your annual percentage rate, expressed as a decimal. The monthly interest cost I charge to your account is mathematically modeled using the following formula: I equals B times APR over 12. Let's run the numbers on a standard US scenario. Suppose you have an average credit card balance, B, of $5,000 on a rewards card with a standard interest rate, APR, of 20%, or 0.20. Plugging these values into our equation, we find I equals 5,000 times 0.20 over 12 equals $83.33. This means that before you even touch a single dollar of your principal debt, the bank is extracting $83.33 of your hard-earned cash in pure, unrecoverable interest fees every single month. If your required minimum monthly payment on this card is $120, only $36.67 is actually reducing your principal balance. Over a standard amortization schedule, it will take you decades and cost you thousands of dollars in compounding interest just to clear a simple $5,000 debt. This negative compounding is why carrying a balance is the ultimate wealth killer. While you are hoping to earn a 7 to 10% return on your investments, you are paying a guaranteed, risk-free 20 to 24% return to the bank. This is a negative arbitrage of nearly 14%. Every extra dollar you throw at a 20% debt is the mathematical equivalent of earning a guaranteed, tax-free 20% return on your capital. Before you buy a single share of stock, you must liquidate the high-interest liabilities compounding against your net worth. When you decide to attack your debt, you will find yourself standing at a crossroads between two distinct frameworks of financial engineering, the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. Both methods are structured, disciplined approaches to debt elimination, but they operate on fundamentally opposing philosophies. One optimizes for human behavior, while the other optimizes for pure, cold mathematics. To build a successful payoff plan, you must analyze your own psychological makeup and choose the system that aligns with how your brain processes progress. The debt snowball method, popularized by Dave Ramsey, is a behavioral strategy. It directs you to list all of your debts in ascending order, from the smallest absolute balance to the largest, completely ignoring the associated interest rates. Under this framework, you commit to paying the minimum monthly payment on every single account, and then you throw every single extra dollar you can find at the smallest balance on the list. Once that smallest debt is completely paid off, you roll the entire payment amount, both the minimum payment and the extra cash, into the next smallest debt. The power of the debt snowball has nothing to do with finance. It is entirely a play on human psychology and momentum. By paying off small balances quickly, you receive immediate, tangible, positive feedback. In fact, a landmark study published in the Journal of Consumer Research and highlighted in the Harvard Business Review analyzed over 6,000 debtors and proved that consumers who concentrate on paying down one small account at a time are significantly more likely to eliminate their overall debt than those who try to disperse their payments equally. Wiping a line item off your ledger creates a psychological win, rebuilding your confidence and giving you the willpower to tackle the larger, more intimidating balances down the road. Conversely, the debt avalanche method is the mathematically optimal path to debt liquidation. Under this framework, you list all of your debts in descending order, starting with the highest interest rate, or APR, down to the lowest, regardless of the balance size. You pay the minimum on all accounts and focus every extra dollar on the highest interest-bearing debt. Once that balance is cleared, you roll that cash into the next highest interest rate. The mathematical benefit of the debt avalanche is absolute. It minimizes the total interest you will pay over your lifetime and shortens your overall repayment timeline. If you are highly disciplined, motivated by pure numerical efficiency, and able to delay instant gratification, the avalanche method will save you thousands of dollars in compounding interest fees. But if you are prone to discouragement and need visual progress to stay committed, the snowball method is your logical starting point. There is no wrong choice. Both methods are structured approaches that are infinitely more effective than making minimum payments without a plan. Now, let us transition from theory to raw execution. Liquidating your debt in 6 months requires a highly disciplined mechanical protocol. You cannot depend on your emotions or your willpower. You must build a system that automates your progress and removes the daily cognitive load. Now, here is the exact step-by-step game plan you must run starting today. Step 1 is to perform a brutal, comprehensive financial audit. You must list every single non-mortgage liability in your life: credit cards, student loans, auto loans, and medical bills. Record the exact outstanding balance, the net interest rate or APR, and the minimum monthly payment. To make this process seamless, do not try to build a complicated spreadsheet from scratch. I have built a fully automated, professional-grade Google Sheets tracker specifically for this purpose. It is completely free, and you can download your personal copy using the forced copy link in the description below. Step 2 is to establish your extra payment engine. To accelerate your payoff timeline, you must find the gap between your income and your living expenses. This is where you proactively starve expense creep. Go through your bank statements from the last 90 days. Identify the recurring cash leaks, unused streaming apps, convenience delivery fees, premium gym memberships, and frequent dining out. If you can recover just $150 to $300 a month from these leaks and throw it at your debt, you will mathematically shave months off your timeline and save hundreds in interest fees. Step 3 is to choose your strategy inside the Adler Coal Tracker. Plug your real-world balances and APRs into the spreadsheet. Use the drop-down menu to select either the highest interest, Avalanche strategy to mathematically minimize your interest cost, or the smallest balance, Snowball strategy to gain quick psychological wins. The sheet will instantly sort your liabilities into a clear, prioritized schedule. displaying your exact debt freedom date and the total interest you will save over your lifetime. Step 4 is to automate the execution. Set up automatic minimum payments on all of your debts except your primary target. For your target debt, the smallest balance or the highest APR, automate the minimum payment plus your entire monthly extra savings engine to be drafted the exact day after your paycheck hits your checking account. This is the pay yourself first framework. By automating the cash flows, you eliminate the temptation to spend your savings, protecting your habits, and forcing your net worth to grow in the background. Liquidating your debt is not just about cleaning up your bank account, it is about resetting your financial nervous system. The moment you clear your high-interest liabilities, the cognitive distraction of scarcity tunneling disappears. Your prefrontal cortex is freed from short-term threat detection, allowing your brain to finally exhale and focus on long-term capital allocation. This is where real, generational wealth building actually begins. When you are funded, your entire relationship with the world changes. You shift from a defensive, survival-based posture to an offensive, opportunity-based posture. A sudden emergency is no longer a life-altering crisis. It is simply a minor line item on your monthly ledger. You negotiate career moves from a position of absolute strength because you have the cash runway to say no to toxic work environments or low-ball offers. The market does not reward raw effort. It rewards optionality, and debt liquidation is your price of admission. The tracker link is in the description. Download it, plug in your numbers, and choose your battle plan today. Drop a comment below with your current liquid reserve number or your total debt payoff target. I will reply to every single comment with a custom acceleration tactic tailored to your numbers. If this video shifted how you see money and helped you understand the neurobiology of your savings, hit the subscribe button. Protect your habits, build your engine, and I will see you in the next one.